You are a soft silk cushion on the couch after a long, hard day of work. Baby dolls, the crowd has actually thrown out the stock to flow model for Bitcoin. I like this. I don't like this. I love it. I absolutely love it. Because we can convince them that they might be wrong. I know it sounds a bit evil and sinister, but that's what we need to get everybody motivated again. You see, before you get conviction for a long-term asset appreciation goal, you need to formulate the story in your mind. You don't need to know the exact story. You just have to believe that people can get excited at the highs. That's the ultimate trap. Of course, it's the ultimate trap. You get excited now because you're buying cheap, but you're not actually excited because prices are down. And people are going to get excited at the top because the prices have gone up. But you need the conviction to get it there. Because if you can formulate it in your mind, you have the vision, like me. This is why you like, subscribe, bell button, or you come to me for the vision. I'm here, I'm handing it out to you. You know, one day in the future, you're going to pay me 1 ETH in friendship once this all works out. But it's going to be painful. So, stock to flow. We can check the dots. We are following the dots, friends. The stock to flow dots imply that Bitcoin will gravitate towards $50,000 fair price within the next 12 months. So before the Bitcoin halving or around it. But I want you to know the crowd hates stock to flow now. They hate it because it let us all down. So stock to flow was a model. Even I thought it was going to play out. But not because there was anything magical about it. It was just because it was working. In markets, in trading, in anything in life, don't try to fix something if it's not broken. You always follow the trend. Yes, sometimes you're going to be caught at the end, but most of the time, you will succeed. The inertia that's already pushing everything forward, it's going to reward you. That's why when I saw stock to flow and it was working out like here, and in his box, I'm like, oh my God, like it's just been working. So I'm like, what the hell? It's just, I know it's a fallacy. You're like, well, you shouldn't assume something's going to keep working. Go, yeah, but how many times are you going to miss out on life-changing opportunity because you're the one who thought you're the smartest person in the world, that everything's just going to stop just because you said it? Most of the time, you're wrong. Look how many times people have tried to call the end of Bitcoin, the end of crypto. Wrong. There might be an end one day. They've been very wrong so far. So everybody hates stock to flow. And I think Bitcoin at 50K will make a great story. I think it will be great. So that's why I'm imagining in my mind, okay, if Bitcoin hits 50K, we can actually resurrect the stock to flow model again. We can actually tell people, hey, the stock to flow model was working all along. Now, you might be a bit confused because you're like, wait a minute, I don't remember stock to flow number being hit in the previous bull market. And you're right. So what Plan B did, this is Plan B, who's blocked like millions of people on Twitter. Plan B modified the stock to flow model. The original one, which is here, the fair value, see it's about $55,000. You can see that, model price $55,000. This is not the modified one. This was the very first one. So what he actually did was, he said, hey, let's remove coins that are not active anymore. He removed Satoshi's coins and he removed lost coins. So what that effectively does is, instead of saying there's 21 million Bitcoin and having a certain market cap, it went down to like, I think 17 million, around that total Bitcoin. So he was able to say, hey, you know, our valuation is actually lower than what you think. Look what happened. We hit the original value. We hit 55K and then we dropped. You know what's very disgusting? I had one nightmare once in 2021. And I said, hey, what if the real stock to flow was the one that no one's looking at, which is the first one. Something in my brain and my body and my soul and my little peanut was just rolling around in my skull. I promise you, I thought of it. I thought of it one night. I'll never forget this. I thought, wait a minute, something's telling me I'm not right here. Something's not right. Everybody is focusing. There was another stock to float, S2FX. Its valuation was $188,000. And what it did is it compares Bitcoin to gold, silver, diamonds. It measures them based off their stock to flows, and it interpolates them. So it says, hey, based off all these, and Bitcoin's a scarce commodity, where should we be? So it's about $188,000. And Plan B himself believed in this one. Of course, friends. Like, of course. You're going to say, well, of course you all believed in that. That's the bigger number, right? True. We all believed that was fair value. And so if we went 2x above fair value, wow, we're going to hit $360,000 Bitcoin. That's what we all thought. So everybody was focusing on that. And then as you noticed, towards the end of 2021, people were praying for just 100K, which is right here. People were praying for 100K. Never got there. So I remember thinking in 2021, hey, what if that very first Bitcoin model he made that nobody talks about anymore? Not one single person said, hey, I think everybody's going to get conned because everybody's trapped. What if it's the first stock to flow model that's the right one? I remember thinking about it, but then also, here's the thing. Here's a catch 2022. In the previous stock to flow model, baby dolls, we went above it in Euphoria. So you can see in 2017, the model price was about $4,200. We hit 20K. So we went 5x above it. Now, I'm not saying we all expected 5x above it, but even just a 2x, a 2x in Euphoria above 55K gets you about 100K, and we couldn't even hit that. So it's kind of showing you that the returns are diminishing so bad, man. It sucks. It really, really sucks. But this is why I'm saying, because you're a baby doll, baby cake, sugar pie with your mittens on and your cute little beanie, and you are a pillow on the couch, silk, for a tough back who's been working all day. Once we cross the Bitcoin halvening and we get everybody excited again, I think it's going to be very easy to convince a lot of people, hey, Bitcoin, the stock to flow model, it was right all along. Woohoo! And that's going to be crazy because you're going to ask me, hey, my friend Somi, please move the cursor to the right and show me what the next Bitcoin halvening fair value is. I don't want to move it up there, friends, because you're not going to like the number that you see. $500,000. So, can I just say something? How stupid would you feel if you sold your Bitcoin early and it actually plays out? I just want to say that. Right? How silly would you feel? You would feel like the smallest little sultana. You will feel like a drop of soy milk on the toilet bowl is going to say that nobody wants to drink anymore. How disgusted would you feel? You'd be like, oh my God, I faded the model that everybody said was going to work. Just thinking of me. But you also have a big risk here. You got a big risk up here because this is why my post is not telling you. I'm not here to tell you that it's going to hit 500K because nobody knows that. What my post to tell you is that it would be a great story. That's all you need. That's all you need, baby doll, baby cake, sugar pies. You only need people to believe it's going to hit 50K, 500K. So this becomes the upper echelon target. So if people are talking about, so you might say to me, hey, what's going to happen? I go, I don't know. Where we come up here, around this price here is roughly 100K. So it's possible in this zone that people are going to get trapped in this circle. It's potential, right? That people buying Bitcoin at 80, 90, 100K around that zone, maybe never even hits 100K, they're going to be believing in 500K. But you might say to me, hey, no one's going to believe that. Okay, yeah, but if Bitcoin matches gold's market cap, it's 500K. Just remember that. So this number is not out of nowhere. This is, I'm going to put G for gold. This is gold's market cap. So can you imagine in your mind a lot of crypto people shilling on Twitter, all over the television news saying Bitcoin is the next digital gold. We're going to flip Bitcoin. I can imagine that because we did it in the last cycle. You have Michael Saylor, who's going to be beaming for the Bitcoin camp. So it's something to think about. Do you want to play this game, though? I don't. I don't want to play this game. That's why I went and did harder work for you, my people, my baby doll, baby cake, sugar pies. With your straight back and your three ice cubes. I went, and I've done this hard work. I want to know. I understand we're late to Bitcoin. I understand. So, as a quick refresher, the fact that there's a model here, just put a big X here. All right? Big X. Bad. Well, I'm sorry. This might be offensive to some people. I'm going to have to draw a little poopy. But out of respect, I'm not going to draw the little smoky lines anymore. It's not going to be stinky poop. It's just going to be toxic sludge poop there. It's going to be smiley, all right? You got to understand, now that you see a model, the game's too late. Have you heard anybody tell that to you? There's no model for Chainlink and Hex and all my other favorite altcoins and Poor Pleb and PulseX and there's no model for them. I don't care. It's all just complete speculation, casino, coming in, what's going on? And this is what you want. This is how you know you're early. Possibilities are endless. You don't want to see a model here. Once you start seeing the models, that means the quantitative nerds are in, the hedge fund people, the MEV people. I hate to use the S word, but yeah, the scum. The scum start coming in. The people who consider 3% to be life-changing yield, so they sit on an offer with 30,000 Bitcoin scalping out. Those are the people who are in. That means the gains are diminishing and the euphoria is dwindling. So at least we can see this story form in our mind. But even though we know all this, I don't want to play this game. Effectively, at the end of the day, if you're long any crypto, you're long Bitcoin. So that's why the name of the game is to beat Bitcoin value. So even though at the end of the day, hey, we might fool a lot of people to buying Bitcoin at 80 to 100K. Do you want to take that risky? I want to ask you this. I think that's too risky for me personally. Do you want to take the risk at 80 to 100K? I don't want to take that risk. There's going to be too many retailers up there. You already know it. Right now, you can see it. How far can they push it? Not far. The liquidity is too thick. Bitcoin's liquidity is way too thick to support the FOMO of these retailers and flush it up any meaningful price. There will be institutions and countries and probably other third world countries want to join El Salvador, but I don't know how far they can push it. That's going to surprise you. Think about this, by the way. If you don't get out at 100K, you're definitely getting out 200K. I'll tell you that. Like, that already tells you there's some warning signs here. Like, hey, 90K, all right, I didn't want to get out. All right, now it's 180K. You're like, okay, I gotta do something. Okay, this is already warning you for these signs. The fact that we're fixating on these numbers too much, it's a warning sign. It really is. That's why the land of all the other altcoins with the growing network effects and the communities who believe they can add more value and do things differently and improve upon the foundations of Bitcoin, that's where the real unknown, uncertainty, bleeding edge, that's where the real value is. All that value, just like our friendship. Like, subscribe, bell button, all friends. Mum and dad, they're going to get a call from you and you're going to tell them that you love them.